Hey, Javonte. Can you just take us through the 31-yard run? And, I mean, it looked like you were carrying Marlon Humphrey there for 20 yards there on that run.
Yeah, I think on the run, I think he tried to go for the ball instead of trying to tackle me, and he just jumped my back and I kept going.
Hey, Javonte, just you had that drive, you had that run, that drive, and everything kind of broke down from there. Like, from your perspective, what do you think caused things to fall apart for the offense?
I don't know. I guess it was lack of focus. A lot of guys, including me, was missing the details, messing up on small things, and it all added together and cost us a game.
Javonte, what was kind of the reaction in the locker room afterwards about kind of where you guys go from here? Obviously started 3-0 and now have, kind of a quality opponent to evaluate.
Yeah, it's the NFL. I mean, like, every team good. So, I mean, one loss, we're not going to really let it affect us. We're just going to move on to Pittsburgh.
Javonte, when did you find out that Drew was going into the game, and how did the team, you feel, react when it went from Teddy to Drew there?
Yeah, I didn't know. I just seen the quarterback switch, and I mean, whoever the guy is, we're gonna rally behind him and do what we gotta do.
Similar question was just asked to Drew, but I'm going to borrow it from whoever said it. Can you guys remember that you're 3-1, or is it too hard to focus on the loss?
Honestly, I say the loss gonna stay with us longer, but we just gotta go in tomorrow, fix the mistakes, and just move on.
Garett, you guys have played so well in getting to 3-0. What happened offensively from the second quarter on, and from your perspective on why things kind of unraveled?
Say that one more time, sorry.
What happened beginning in the second quarter offensively where things kind of unraveled from your perspective? What did you see? What were you seeing out there?
I'm gonna have to watch the film, man. I feel like we had a lot of plays. I feel like we were moving the ball. I think it came down to the little things. Particularly me, I didn't play too well, so I feel like that loss is on me, just being the leader of the offensive line and me not doing my job 100% that I need to make Teddy feel comfortable. Because if I do my job and I keep him fresh and he can move around, and the rest of the guys, it makes it easier for them. So I take this loss upon myself.
Garett, when did you learn that Drew was coming in, and what was your reaction?
I mean, I saw Teddy on the ground. It didn't look too well. And I saw Drew warming up with Cush, and I figured that he might have come in. Like I said, we have two phenomenal quarterbacks that can play at a high level day in and day out. I love Teddy dearly. I hope it's not too bad. I talked to him a little bit. Hopefully he heals up, but I know Drew's going to hold it down until he comes back.
Garett, how'd you feel Quinn played in his first start, and how was your guys' communication there on the left side?
Quinn did a phenomenal job, man. I love that kid dearly. I told him before the game, man, just be the kid from Whitewater, Wisconsin, man. Don't be anybody different that you need to be. We drafted you for a reason to come in here and play, and we need to do everything can. So it was my job to get him ready, get him talking, and I feel like we did a really good job. I know we made some mistakes, but at the same time, I felt like he came in there. He wasn't rattled. He was real calm and collective, and he stepped up big time for us.
We all know how well Teddy's played, and we all know what his leadership's meant to you guys. How personally did you take it when he gets hurt, and how did it shake the team a little bit?
I'm really angry right now at myself. That's just unacceptable, the way I played today. So I take that all upon myself 100%. Like I said, I'm my biggest critic, and I know I just got to go out there, fix my mistakes, and continue to get back on my track where I belong. Some days I'm going to have good days, and some days I'm going to have bad days. And today I took the punch to the face, so I just have to take my lickings, get up off the mat, and get back next week and, figure out what happened when I got knocked out and just get back up again. So that's just the type of player that I am. I'm going to get back up and fix my things and continue to move forward.
When a leader like Teddy gets knocked out of the game, does it shake the team at all?
I mean, it always does. We love Teddy dearly. I mean, he came in and won us all. He has a heart of gold, and I love that man dearly. So I know it hurts us, but at the same time, it's going to take me, Bobby, Melvin, Noah, these type of guys that are going to come in and pick this team up. I tried everything I could to get everybody just try to calm down and everything like that, but sometimes you just got to take your lickings and move on, man. We're 3-1 out of the first quarter of the season. That's a phenomenal job for us here. We can't win them all, but we're going to go out there every day and try to give us the best opportunity to win.
Last one,
Garett, on the field, what were some of the toughest adjustments that you've been working with Teddy, obviously, all the live reps in practice. Now Drew comes in, you haven't been working with him. What was the kind of the toughest adjustments to get going in the third?
I just had to, Teddy set so deep, Drew set so deep. It's just little things like that. But at the same time, I know both of them very well. I played Drew with all last year, and Teddy I got real, connected with during the training camp and things and preseason and the first couple games of the season. So I don't know if it's difficult. I think we have two guys that can play. For me, I know I just have to do a better job. I mean, that's just flat out what I have to do. I have to do a better job to make everyone calm down and hold my end of the bargain. And when I do that, our O-line is solid and we win a lot of games. That's all.
How's it going?
Hey, Justin, two for you on the touchdown. What was the route there that got you turned around? And with Brown, were you downfield on that one?
Yeah. He stemmed for the outside, and, that's my leverage. And, just miscommunication with Kareem, expecting some post help. But that's why I'm so big on, I talk about every week communication. And there's a few communication mishaps within the secondary, and a team like that and a guy like Lamar who can create and scramble, plays like that will happen. So you got to clean up the communication.
You're still 3-1. You think it'll be pretty easy to rally tomorrow and move on from this game?
Yeah, I mean, just like the wins, you go in tomorrow, you watch the tape, and you're on to the next week. One of the beauties of being in the NFL is no one cares what you did the week before. So you won, great. You're on to, in our case this week, we're on to Pittsburgh, after tomorrow. So, a lot of film we got to watch, a lot of things, we can correct defensively. The biggest emphasis is no takeaways. And, we just got to be better going into Pittsburgh.
Justin, you keep Lamar in check with his legs. Were you happy with the approach and the execution of it to whatever degree that was?
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're asking. It's, it's tough, a team like that. Obviously, a lot of emphasis was, it was what it was, and like guys in the back end, we had to step up and make more plays than we did, and we just didn't get that done. And so, like I said, a lot of it is communication, and, you see he can be good on 80% of the plays, and it only takes the one or two that really are game changers, and we just got to fix that.
Justin, as you say, you're 3-1, which is a good place to be after a quarter of the season. But now 8 starters are down. We're not sure when a couple will come back. How important is it for a person like you, a captain, to make sure you put your foot down this week, given the schedule that's upcoming?
Yeah, it's going to be important. We always emphasize it, and I emphasize it in the DB room along with Kareem, how important it is for everyone that's on this team, whether you're in practice squad or not. We're going to need you. And it's an unfortunate thing. Injuries happen in this league, right? You play the game, you have 100%, chance of possibly getting injured. And guys are going down. It's the next man up, and it's a chance to, be able to make a name for yourself and put your film out there for all 32 teams to see. And so guys are dinged up. It's part of how the process goes, and, we're going to need the guys that are backing them up to step up.
Justin, for a guy who's been around here for a few years now, you haven't played in many games that have been anticipated as much as this. How disappointing is it to have gotten to a game like this and not been able to accomplish the things that you want to, realizing that you hope to have more opportunities like this as the season goes on?
Oh, yeah, no. Extremely disappointing. We knew how important this was. Now, especially being able to come back home, and play a team like Baltimore. I knew how important this was. We knew, what the stakes were for it, and it's just disappointing. And I only speak on the defensive side of the ball. For us, obviously, I always talk about the biggest emphasis being takeaways and not be able to set up our offense on a short field against a good defense. And like I said, just overall communication. And how important that is. So it was disappointing, but like I said, the good news is on to the next one. We focused on Pittsburgh after tomorrow, and we'll clean up the mistakes.
You mentioned communication quite a bit. What are the things that you can do in practices and in meetings to make sure that there are fewer of those miscommunications next week?
Yeah, no, I mean the biggest emphasis, like all throughout this week, working through crowd noise, right? And I think one of the things that you saw happen is those quick motions, and a lot of the times catching us in what we can do off those motions. There are multiple different facets of what we can do, and we got to be. Coach Ed says it all the time. We got to be inside each other's bodies. Like we got to be able to feel the same thing. And one guy might be thinking one thing, another guy might be thinking another, and that's when things can go wrong. And so you try and go over every scenario, and unfortunately, you can't. And so for us, it's going back in that moment, watching the film, rethinking what your process was, what you were going through, and then making sure that, all right, well, this is what I saw. This is what you saw. This is what I saw. And worst case scenario, we got to just be on the same page at the end of the day and not give up, a big play. And it just wasn't it. It obviously didn't happen. So long story short, to answer your question is you just got to work through the kinks. And, that's going to happen with guys that you're not used to, I guess, being out there a lot, So you just got to work through it.
Justin, you've talked about what Teddy's meant to this team as an emotional leader. When he goes out, does that, I know you play defense, but does that shake everybody a little bit to see that guy go out?
I wouldn't necessarily say, like shakes the guys. When Drew went in there, guys have the utmost confidence in Drew. And it's unfortunate, seeing Teddy go down. But like you said, as a defense, it's a chance for us. Like, all right, Teddy's out. We see Drew's in. Let's help him here. Let's give him a short field. Let's get a takeaway. Let's get a 3-and-out, have them back up. Hopefully you get good field position, things like that. So defensively, those are the things you talk about on the sideline and you're focused on, throughout the game. And I just don't think, we did enough to be able to help them towards the end of the game.